Hello and welcome. This is a live session, so this is not pre-recorded, and also there's no script. There's not really a plan for what's going to take place over the next hour or more. And the intention here um, that I have, that I am holding to share, is an intention based in my experience as a human being, someone who has suffered a lot, gone through a lot of psychological suffering, gone through a lot of anxiety, depression, and confused, complicated thinking, really intensely. And so I've learned that one of the best ways for me to spend my time is actually not trying to benefit myself, not trying to get more for me, but actually to offer what I already have to others. And what I have uh, from my experience of being a Buddhist monk over the past 7 years, and also from my experience of being someone who was stuck and lost and trapped in suffering and had no idea and no way and really no support, no wise guidance on how to end that suffering or deal with that suffering within myself. Even though I did have a family and parents and people who cared about me, this kind of focus wasn't really there. The recognition of suffering and the path to end suffering. And so, my intention here, what this is about, is to help, is to share, to recognize that there is suffering, and also to recognize that there is an ending of suffering. And the next hour or more of this live stream will be concerned with uh, that path, that way of ending suffering that I've discovered and that I've gotten to experience the benefit of over these past 10 years, over a decade of being on the path of Buddhism, meditation, mindfulness, and detachment. There's so many buzzwords out there. I'm not really here to teach a meditation method or to give you a buzzword to make you feel that you now have a direction in your life, but really to share my intention, to share my experience, or to share the intention of ending suffering, and to share the experience of the ending of suffering, as far as I know it, with everyone, for all. So this is an open and inclusive space. I don't have a job. I don't have a way to make money. I don't have a business plan. I don't have a plan for the next month or year or the rest of my life. My plan and my mission as this body and mind, regardless of the clothes that I wear, the hats that I wear, the place that I find myself in, who I find myself around, my wish, my plan is to recognize suffering, to dare to face and to be with and to experience that suffering, to experience what is without thinking about it, and to end that suffering. And along that path, to help as many people as I can, whether they are male or female or trans or young people or old people, whether they only speak Vietnamese or they only speak English, whether they are experienced or inexperienced. And so that's what this is all about. I'm going to grab my phone here, not because I'm scrolling on TikTok, but because the way that this session is going on today, I'll only be able to see the comments and everyone saying hello and see what's going on. by looking at this phone here. So I hope that's okay with you, whoever you are. And I hope everything's working so far. Great. So we're in the, oh, that sounds good. So we're in the White Space Studio here in Dalat, Vietnam. I would call this the present moment. I don't know what you'd call it, but that's what I call it. I would call this the present moment. And our goal, okay, I just got a thing showing up on my YouTube here of goal. Our goal here is limitless. Okay, with mindfulness and detachment. And so this is maybe one of the first teachings or concepts that I'll share with the group. And that is that we rely on purpose. So if there's no purpose in our lives, it's kind of like our gas tank will be empty and we'll constantly be pushing our car. We'll have to get out of the car and we'll be pushing it up the hill, right? We'll be straining ourselves to go forward in life, to try and make progress, to try and develop a good, happy, peaceful, meaningful life. And so if our wish or our intention is basically about ourselves, the idea that we have of ourselves, or literally this body and this mind, that's a very limited purpose. This body and mind is very limited. It's only one of many bodies and minds. So one of the best things that we can start to do in terms of dealing with our suffering and living a more meaningful, rich, healthy, and wealthy life is to start investing in generosity, investing in helping others. And a lot of people who have been primarily influenced by American culture, like myself, and a lot of people you'll find in online spaces speaking English, is that generosity has become an abstract term. We give to get. We pay the price. We buy the material object. We sign up for some kind of education program and we take out a bunch of loans so that we can pay for that and build ourselves up. The practice of generosity is actually possible, real, accessible, not obtuse, and is at the core of our human nature, right? So our capacity, our ability to share, to offer, to give away what we already have that's seemingly valuable to us ourselves is innate in each one of us as human beings. There's nothing taboo, there's nothing negative, there's nothing dangerous about being generous. There's nothing dangerous about being forgiving. There's nothing dangerous about putting ourselves aside to help others. And can you, as you're here, can you hear silence? Because I can hear a lot of silence. So the noise that we bring into our life is actually affecting us a lot. If we're bringing in the noise of sexual desire, if we're bringing in the noise of constant content consumption, if we're bringing in the noise of constantly getting high or getting drunk, if we're bringing in the noise of constantly arguing or getting into political diatribes or debates with other people, it's going to be very difficult to hear the silence in the noise. Because real silence isn't found in a monastery or in the forest or in a cave somewhere. Real silence, real freedom, real peace, real truth is found right here where you already are. In the midst of all the noise that's going on. In the midst of everything. Now, happiness is another matter. If you want to be really happy, really excited, really interested, really passionate, that's another matter. But to be at peace, to be okay with what already is, that is your direct line of communication with truth, which is found loudly in silence, the silence that exists within whatever's going on. You can also call this like the alreadiness of life. So, regardless of what happened in the past, regardless of what could happen in the future, regardless of all thoughts, ideas, and concepts, and stories, and situations and experiences that you've had in your life up to now, this is already like this. Now, in terms of understanding trees and understanding rocks and understanding noise, well, that can be really, really confusing. Constantly trying to understand everything can be very, very, very confusing. How can you understand a TV screen in front of you, whether it's turned on or turned off? How can you understand the sounds of the nighttime motorcycles going by and people murmuring in the distance? How can you understand that? You can't understand it. Partly because it already is that way. It doesn't need to be understood. It doesn't need to be grasped. It doesn't need to be figured out. It doesn't need to be explained. Life doesn't need to be explained. Life is already like this. Life and death are like this. Consciousness is like this. It doesn't need to and cannot be explained. And so this is the other aspect that's going to create a lot of difficulties for you or for me on the path, is that it's too difficult to explain anything, even a motorcycle in the distance. Who's driving it? What kind of motor is it? Where are they driving from? Where are they driving to? What are they thinking about? Who are they in relationships with? So this, and I dare say Buddhism, meditation, the path to enlightenment, is not about understanding anything. Now, instead of bringing up a response to that, or figuring out some kind of way of questioning that, or debating about that, right? Like bringing up your point about that, this is more of an invitation to ask the question, how is it possible for me? How is it possible for you? You have to ask the question. I can't meditate for you. I can't question life for you. How is it possible for me to understand everything that I'm already experiencing? That openness is the questioning, and the answering has kind of become a confused way of living life, where we are constantly giving bad answers that don't help us go in a more positive direction and that are not based in our direct experience. So asking a great question like this, what does it mean to understand everything, gives us access to space. Not Space Jam, not competition, not a story about space, but space itself. Spaciousness, openness. You know? And a lot of what I'm practicing with and why I do these live streams and why I share is I'm kind of questioning myself. How spacious, how open can I actually be to who I already am? And that this I, who I already am, is inclusive of everything, so that everything is irrelevant. So there's no thing in this everythingness of spacious, open inclusiveness without competition. right? So it's not that there's a right or wrong here, or that I could win or lose a debate here, or that this is something we need to talk about, but it's kind of like that this is something, let's say what I'm pointing to, this is something that there's no point to talk about, that it can't be talked about, that all talking is arising from it and returning to it, and that in actuality, when we can see clearly what it is and what it isn't, we can see that nothing is arising in it. Nothing is passing away in it. There's no in and out in it. Just words and phrases, just sounds. And if you're like me, I'm keeping every finger that I can cross. Let's see if I can cross every finger here. Oh my goodness. I'm keeping every finger that I can cross, and in my mind I'm crossing my toes, that this recognition or this connection with spacious open awareness, this natural meditation, this natural peace that I didn't do anything to make, will lift me up into a mountain temple with 10 gigabyte Ethernet and a natural hot spring and beautiful weather and flowers and durian trees and mango trees and blackberry bushes, all fueled by the feces of my community of fellow practitioners on the path. I'm keeping all my fingers crossed. And then even being up there, I'm not even going to be there because I'm floating so high above the clouds in bliss and peacefulness and wonderfulness that everything's just fine. All my fingers are crossed. But, firstly, there's not a need for that. There's not a need for you to change yourself. There's not a need for you to go somewhere. There's not a need for you to be someone or not be someone, according to your way of thinking about yourself, to be free. To recognize freedom. To be associated with truth in your everyday, ordinary, daily life. And so, while that may be true, food comes in and poop has to come out. So where are you going to poop? Well, poop on the path of holding the intention seriously, remembering it, to be generous, to help others, to volunteer, to share your possessions, to offer, to give, to collaborate, to cooperate, to share protection, to share deep listening, to share compassion, to share forgiveness. And through that, you'll naturally be mindful. You'll naturally be a good person. And you'll be a good person in such a way, and this is the good person that the Buddha is actually talking about. You'll be a good person in such a way that's beyond the duality of good and evil. It's just this. It's just here. It's just drinking water. It's just taking a bath. It's just feeling suffering. It's just feeling happiness. It's just asking a question. It's just listening. It's just recognizing, oh, maybe that wasn't as skillful as I'd like to be. It's just recognizing, actually, I don't know if that's the right thing or the wrong thing. That just brings you right here where you already are. And where you already are is inclusive of you. It doesn't reject you, but where can you find you? It's like, where can you find the movie when the TV isn't turned on without doing anything? It's already not there. And so instead of dealing with this built up habit energy of emotions and traumas and complicated thinkings and our need to be in the world, right? Instead of being subject to that, make that subject to your openness to be mindful and detached, to be mindful and not stuck on things, to be mindful and actively coming back to the motivation and the intention in your daily life to do good deeds, to be mindful, to be wholeheartedly where you already are. And so here, we're not connecting with a discussion. There's no discussion going on here. But rather, this is an openness to deep listening. And it's only through that openness to deep listening actively that we share. We share our experience. We don't get pulled into a thought string and then allow that thought string to pull us into saying things. That's not what's going on here. So this is the practice of deep listening based in not someone. So there's no, well, how do I, or what about you doing? Just like a fire burns. You can try to stick your hand in there and get a hold of that burnt log and figure it out, or you can realize that the fire isn't a place where you put your hands. So you step back from grasping. You step back from clinging. You step back from identifying with thoughts. And you rather open your awareness and attention to the direct experience of the body being the way that it already is. And you connect with that. And you listen, not just to me, but you listen to your heart beating. You listen to the listening itself. You open to the opening of this moment as it already is, as it continues to already be. So we allow breathing to happen. We're not trying to breathe. We're not controlling breathing, even focusing on breathing. Maybe that's not quite it. We're allowing breathing to be. We're allowing the body to be. We're allowing the heart to beat. We're allowing the mind to rest in awareness rather than complicated, contrived, self-fixated thinking about I, about you, about me. How do we learn growing up? Do we talk about things? Do we talk to our parents? Do we talk to our mentors? No, we open to the experience of being with them. And if you have any real interest in the spiritual path, the enlightenment path, the awakening path, you need to open to being with. Period. You have to open to your capacity to sustain that. Apparently, to sustain that. To sustain non-thought and to sustain the willingness to engage in doing good deeds with mindfulness and detachment that are not about you or your possessions or what you hope to get from it. actively going beyond the self, beyond the constraints of constriction around this body and this mind, these physical sensations and these mental phenomena or formations. This is the skill being shared here, seemingly, intentionally. Feel your heart beating. I know, we know, this constant drive to touch something, to consume something, to be involved with something. But this is the involvement of non-involvement. This is the attachment of non-attachment. This is coming home to what already is without needing to create something more. Coming home to the natural way, the natural reality. That's what this is about. So practice it. Don't believe in it. Don't idealize me. Certainly don't idolize me. Practice returning to the true source of your attention continuously. That isn't based in thinking. Come home to the body. Come home to this apparent body, this thoughtless body. There's not a single thought in your body. And who would you be without your body? Nobody. Closing the eyes, turning the mind inward, just means attention with what already is here. Connect with that here, not over there, not over here, this here-ness of direct experiencing based in your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind as it is right now. We go in to release in. And then out is already. In together with everything. Allow contradictions to burst in your mind. What am I doing? What am I focusing on? This, that, this, that. Just awareness. And maybe you're not having a profound experience. Maybe I'm not having a profound experience. Maybe we're both losers. Maybe we're both fakers. Maybe we're both frauds. Maybe we're both scammers. Maybe we're both the worst of the worst, whatever that is. And so let that just be. But let it be in a way where you're no longer in conflict with the way that things already are, with the body, with the mind as it is. This body is not based in past and future thoughts. This mind of awareness as is. That this experience, that your experience, that my experience is not about anything. That this body is not about something. That this mind is not about something. That green and red and my belly and your foot is not an element of a story. Rescind the involvements that you have with stories. breathe. If breathing doesn't work, don't breathe. If don't breathing doesn't work, don't breathe or don't breathe. Everything that I've said up to now, everything that you've thought up to now, let it vanish. Allow impermanence to happen. This is nothing more than an invitation to remove the limits that you have put on direct experience. Be without fear and know that you are without fear. Be just aware and know that you are just aware. And you have the freedom and you have the permission to be free in just being aware, without needing to do anything, without needing to be anyone, without needing to answer any question, without needing to live up to any expectation, without even needing to hold on to the identity of you being someone who's just being aware. So sitting here right now, I think about, well, giving guidance, sharing, teaching. And I also kind of invite this question of how deeply can I go into just being? How much can I appreciate just being? It's kind of like I'm giving myself an allowance of allowing. And there's that want, there's that desire for a big allowance, right? But that interferes with just allowing. And just disappearing. And I have to have a certain kind of faith to go deeper into this just allowing, because otherwise I'd order a cheeseburger, or I'd go and watch YouTube videos. Just allowing, just being aware. The mind kind of continuously, sometimes it's the mind, sometimes it's the body, comes in and says, hey, 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 hey. You know, we call it a distraction or something, but just allowing without involvement. Just aware without aware of something. Going deeper into the mind with this heart of generosity, this heart of openness, this heart of mindfulness. Not judging it. No such thing as a good or a bad meditation. No such thing as doing the right or the wrong thing in this just allowing. And this just allowing it's a certain kind of authenticity that is not based in personality. It's more so based in stillness and awareness. not creating anything in the mind, not trying to do anything, not trying to get enlightened or be relaxed. No trying at all. Stepping back from trying into awareness, or just allowing with presence, with wakefulness. A mind, an experience, a reality that is not based in thoughts, that you as a personality, as an identity, cannot perceive, cannot grasp, cannot identify with. Let the thoughtless body be your guide. Breathe and listen to the thoughtless body. Complete faith in the true nature of the mind. Utter awareness, total freedom. Notice all sensations in the body without judgment. When judgment appears, dropping judgment. Allowing judgment to drop. Allowing thoughts to disappear. Allowing the sense of self to disintegrate into awareness. Allowing the whole body and mind to relax. Heart to heart, mind to mind, life to life. May we all be well, happy, and peaceful. May suffering lead us to the ending of suffering, and may we all follow the path each and every day, with each and every breath. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, friends, thank you for being here. If you have any questions or if you'd like to share about your meditation experience, you can go ahead. Also, if these teachings and live streams benefit you, please do consider to leave a like, and that helps more people come across these beneficial activities. So it's a way that you can support this practice and this work and this community. As for my own personal life and mission and what I'm doing right now, it's not totally different from what I was doing as a monk. But of course now I don't wear the robes. But I'm just wandering and being in the moment, not planning very much for the future, and seeing about ways that I can support others and support myself, take care of my body and mind. It's quite nice to be here in Vietnam and to have taken off, even if it's just temporarily, the robes of a monk and kind of the weight or the burden of that identity and responsibility. So I'm getting a lot of chance to feel the freshness and openness of life, and also to confront and deal with like my own cycles that I go through, without that added pressure of like, well, I'm a monk, I'm a teacher, I'm not supposed to be going through these things. So it's a really lovely and experimental and explorative time for me, and I'm very grateful to all of the people who are making donations and supporting me. It really means a lot. It means more than what I can say, and it allows me to share and to be in this way freely without needing to set up some kind of program or scheme to make money. So I really do appreciate it a lot. It's only a few people, really, but those people know who they are, and I'm very, very gracious. And somehow I feel more gracious now, because there's less of the infrastructural support of when I was a monk and always living at temples and monasteries. And so now that I'm having to kind of manage and take care for myself, I can feel the depth of what that means for people to have enough faith and trust in me, to be supporting me to live in this way just through generosity. Thank you, Sonia. And thank you for being you. Or thank you for being empty. Okay, so no questions, no comments. I will just say that if anyone feels the need to ever have a call with me or to have a one-on-one, I am here, I am available for that. And you can reach me on WhatsApp or by email, and we can find a time to connect with each other and support each other through a one-on-one dialogue. Okay, that's all for now. Thank you so much for being here with me, and keep doing nothing.